Hello children, my name is TruongHoangPhong. I'm an English teacher at Untitled Primary School. You have a new lesson with me. Now, okay, you look at the string. You can see UK English program level 2A. So you learn lesson E, learn the sound, learn new words, learn to speak, and learn to read. Period 1, week 12. Now you have the contents of the new lesson. 1. Warm up. 2. Learn the sounds. Learn new words. 3. Learn to speak. 4. Learn to read. 5. Remember. Now you can listen to a song, the alphabet song. Now let's sing. Just listen to the song. Do you like it? Good job. Now we will review the old lesson. Matching game. Do you like it? Yes. Good job. Which words can you match in lesson E? Now look at. Say again. 3. B. Sheep. Sleep. Now number 8. Which picture do you choose? A. Picture 1. B. Picture 2. C. Which picture? Picture 3. D. Picture 4. Now read. 3. B. Sheep. Sleep. Now just review the old lesson. Good job. Now introduce the new lesson. Sound E. Now listen. I just introduced a new lesson, Sound E, and now continue. You listen to the song. Now, very good. Part 1. You look at the ring. Learn the sound. Learn new words. Now look at. How many pictures are there? I see. There are 4 pictures. There are 4 words. Now, listen.
Learn the sound. Learn new words. Eat. Eat. Sit. Eat. Eat. Her. Eat. Her. Eat. Read. Eat. If. Leaf.
Now listen again.
Learn the sound. Learn new words. Eat. Eat. Sit. Eat. Eat. Her. Eat. Her. Eat. Read. Eat. If. Leaf.
One more.
Learn the sound. Learn new words. Eat. Eat. Sit. Eat. Eat. Her. Eat. Her. Eat. Read. Eat. If. Leaf.
Now listen again. Now it's game time. The game Hidden Picture. Do you like it? Yeah, good job. Now look at. You can open the square. What can you see? Listen.
Sit.
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 Open. 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 What can you see?
Eat. Eat.
Open. 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 What can you see?
Read. Read.
Open. 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 What can you see?
Breathe. Breathe.
Do you like it? Yes, good job. Part 2. Learn to speak. Now look at the picture. What can you see? I can see two pupils. What are they doing? They are talking together. Where are they? They are at the park. What do they say? Now listen.
Learn to speak. Where did people usually live in 1990s? They usually lived in a village. What did they do in the evening? They read books, talked, and went to bed.
Now listen again.
Learn to speak. Where did people usually live in 1990s? They usually lived in a village. What did they do in the evening? They read books, talked, and went to bed.
One more.
Learn to speak. Where did people usually live in 1990s? They usually lived in a village. What did they do in the evening? They read books, talked, and went to bed.
Now, rows and lines. Now look at and say.
Where did people usually live in 1990s?
Where did people usually live in 1990s?
They usually lived in a village.
They usually live in a village.
What did they do in the evening?
What did they do in the evening?
They read books, talked, and went to bed.
They read books, talked, and went to bed. Now look at the picture. Rose and Lay, Bob and Bart talk about. Now listen and say.
Learn to speak. Where did people usually live in 1990s? They usually lived in a village. What did they do in the evening? They read books, talked, and went to bed. Learn to speak.
One more.
Where did people usually live in 1990s? They usually lived in a village. What did they do in the evening? They read books, talked, and went to bed.
Now it's game time. Do you like a game? Yes, this game is very funny. Now, correct the mistakes. What do people usually do in 1990s? Mistakes. Do. You can change do, change did. What did people usually do in 1990s? Dick. Yes. They usually live in a village. Live. Jane live. They usually live in a village. Remember the simple past ed after live. Yes. What do they do in the evening? What can you see? What is the mistake? Mistake. Do. Jane. Dick. Do. Jane. Dick. What did they do in the evening? They read books, talked, and went to bed. Mistake. Reads. Jane reads. S. No S. You can say they read books, talked, and went to bed. Rick. Yes. Now part 3. Learn to read. Now look at Jane. Look at Jane. The girl. Jane sits on her seat. What is she doing? She is reading a book. What is her brother doing? He is eating. Now, listen.
Learn to read. Jane sits on her seat. She reads to her brother. He eats as she reads.
Now listen again.
Learn to read. Jane sits on her seat. She reads to her brother. He eats as she reads.
One more.
Learn to read. Jane sits on her seat. She reads to her brother. He eats as she reads.
Now listen and repeat. Jane sits on her seat. She reads to her brother. He eats as she reads. Now look at Rick and Comlick. Jane sits on her here. Remember the words. She to her brother. He as she. Now, do you remember? Yes. Good job. Check the answer. Jane sits on her seat. She reads to her brother. He eats as she reads. Now listen.
Jane sits on her seat. She reads to her brother. He eats as she reads.
One more.
Jane sits on her seat. She reads to her brother. He eats as she reads.
Now, this is the end of the lesson. Now you remember, learn by heart new words and the structures. Goodbye, class.